past all rivals in a competition. While easy to define, there's no formula for their creation. Some, like Layman Brewster, materialize unexpectedly. Chosen as an easy opponent for Vladimir Klitschko, Brewster surprised us with his toughness and shocked us with his power to emerge suddenly as a heavyweight champion. Others seem destined to be a champion. Cory Spinks, the son of Leon and the nephew of Michael, grew up with boxing in his blood. But pedigree without performance means nothing. With all three welterweight belts and wins over Ricardo Mayorga and Zab Judah, Spinks has carried on the legacy of his championship family. The term champion may be defined with words, but it must be earned with heart and skill. As evening approaches this city that lives by night, we welcome you on this Labor Day weekend to Las Vegas, Nevada. There's no better place for a newly crowned champion and an undisputed champion to showcase their talents. America's Fight Night is pleased to be back at the state-of-the-art event center at the Mandalay Bay, the scene of so many world championship bouts. It was right here in this arena where tonight's headliner pulled off one of the biggest upsets of the year in boxing. The crowd settling in for his first title defense. It's Fight Night in Vegas. In our main event, it's the WBO Heavyweight Championship as relentless Layman Brewster, fresh off his stunning victory over Vladimir Klitschko, squares off with former Australian heavyweight champion Kali Checkmate Meehan of New Zealand. And in our co-feature, they call him the next generation, as Cory Spinks keeps the famous family name alive. Tonight, the opposition, former world champion Miguel Gonzalez, with Spinks' undisputed welterweight title on the line. Hello again, everybody. Steve Albert ringside from Las Vegas. Well, in today's boxing establishment, even world champions find themselves starved for stardom. Tonight, we feature two titleists who continue to fight for recognition. Layman Brewster holds a share of the heavyweight title, but that in itself doesn't count for much these days. In April, Brewster was on the verge of a KO defeat when he scored a smashing knockout of Vladimir Klitschko. If he continues to win in such spectacular fashion, he won't have to worry about recognition any longer. As for Cory Spinks, the welterweight champion is one of only two unified title holders in the sport. The other, of course, Bernard Hopkins. Spinks, a pure boxer, doesn't fight anything like his father Leon or his uncle Michael. Maybe further recognition will come if he modifies his cautious style, or perhaps he just needs to keep winning. Time will tell. And with that, let me bring on my ringside partner, Al Bernstein. And Al, tonight, the two champions in the spotlight. Cory Spinks, a star for sure. But what about Layman Brewster? Where would you put him in relation to the other heavyweight champions?
Well, ironically, it was Cory's dad, Leon, when he won the title from Muhammad Ali, who said, "I'm not the greatest, but I am the latest." Well, for Layman Brewster, he is the latest of the current heavyweight champs to win a title. But even at age 31, he still believes he can be the greatest, at least of that group of four. And tonight's performance is really important because while no one denies that he showed grit and courage in beating Vladimir Klitschko, that win came partially because of Klitschko's stamina problems. It was not really the breakout performance the boxing public had hoped to see from Layman. So tonight, in this election year, Brewster starts his campaign to be king of the heavyweight division. As for Cory Spinks, his established position today is in stark contrast to some earlier career roadblocks that included difficulty getting fights because of his southpaw style, a serious shoulder injury, and a bad decision in his first title try. he persevered through all of that to live up to his famous name.
All right, both champions are in the house, and with that, Al, how would you capsulize tonight's two World Championship bouts?
Well, you know, both of these champions are heavy favorites, but really both are looking for emphatic wins. While Brewster needs it to show he can be the best in his division, Cory Spinks is looking for bigger prestige. He's already proven he's right at the top of the welterweight heap. He wants to be considered one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in boxing today. To stay in the running for that, well, you have to convincingly beat a 33-year-old veteran who was a champion in a lighter weight division. And so for both these champions, tonight is about marketing as much as boxing.
So the first of our world title doubleheader here at the Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas will focus on undisputed welterweight champion Cory Spinks, who will take on former lightweight champ Miguel Gonzalez in a matter of minutes. Well, when you're the son of Leon and the nephew of Michael Spinks, your name is instantly familiar to millions. And in his last two bouts, Cory Spinks has shown that he has the game to go along with the name. In consecutive welterweight title fights, he's defeated Ricardo Mayorga and Zab Judah, both of whom have been in the pound-for-pound top 10. Nonetheless, it shouldn't come as a surprise that Cory Spinks has been overshadowed by his unmatched pedigree. He's one of only two acknowledged undisputed champions, critically acclaimed for his skills. Yet welterweight champion Cory Spinks remains overshadowed by his famous pedigree.
Both of them guys can fight. I mean, it's just an honor to possess those skills that's been passed to me.
The son of Leon and the nephew of Michael, Cory Spinks has established his own career, winning the world title from Michel Picharillo and unifying it against the much-heralded Ricardo Mayorga.
I think I can beat anyone, you know, and, there's no doubt in my mind, not one second that I thought that Mayorga would beat me.
While he continued to build his resume by outpointing the talented Zab Judah, he feels unrecognized and unappreciated.
I just stick to the rules and performing the art, you know, and the art of hitting and not get hit, and just show my talent.
His fighting style has hindered his popularity. In a sport that relishes power, Spinks prefers to outthink and outpoint his opponents, ending less than 1/3 of his fights early.
Because a lot of people like to see a lot of knockouts, and it's been brainwashed in people here, and they done kind of got away from what boxing is really means, the art. It's coming back. It's slowly making this move, and a lot of people are starting to look at me and recognize my talent.
Cory Spinks has adopted the nickname the Next Generation. But when, in the minds of the fans, will he become the Now Generation?
I'm changing the Spinks jinx. You used to be just an overhand right, you know, and you done, you know, but I'm putting my own little spin on it.
Well, for just about everybody, the name Spinks instantly sinks in. For some boxing fans, it takes a little longer to warm to Cory Spinks' style. Regardless, he's really proving that he has what it takes, Al, to carve out his own niche.
Yeah, and you know, he started creating his own identity, really, as a pro 7 years ago, with youth and speed as his major calling cards. Now, 3 titles later at age 26, well, he's still young, and he still has that blazing speed, but now he also has big fight experience. Now, that trio of assets makes Miguel Gonzalez's task all the more difficult tonight. Gonzalez, a former champion himself, is a skilled and clever fighter, but things will have to work out almost perfectly for him tonight, and that includes his strategy. Against an older, slower fighter, combinations are the key for Cory Spinks. Now, nothing wide is called for in this match. Up the middle has always been the way against Gonzalez. When Cory is at his best, it's about hitting and then avoiding being hit. This sequence is quintessential Cory Spinks. He lands the jab, and then he will make his opponent miss, and he will use his speed to get out of harm's way. This is a very hard combination to beat. It's always a good idea to use the double hook against the lefty, and Gonzalez can do that. Now, Spinks has a quick lead left, so Gonzalez has to keep his right hand up. And Gonzalez has power in his right hand, but it won't be easy to land that punch. In an effort to land the right, of course, the jab is a help, even against a lefty. But no matter how he sets this punch up, Gonzalez may have to experiment to find the best way to land the right, and a wider arc could be necessary to get this punch there. He'll need it to win this match.
Miguel Angel Gonzalez looking to become the first undisputed champion from Mexico in boxing history. But he is here perhaps more out of respect for his past than anything else. In his prime, one of the fiercest, most durable fighters from south of the border. Never quite the same after moving up in weight. The punishing loss to Kostya took its toll. Long stretches of inactivity, nondescript opposition of late, and he took way too many punches in his last fight. Whether he deserves this title shot or not, Al, one thing's for sure, probably his last chance.
Well, he's very aware of that, and he says he's better prepared than at any time since he was champion in the mid-90s. He's got one thing going for him, Steve. He is 6-0, never been beaten by a lefty.
And he worked with 17 southpaws in preparation for this fight as he goes for his 50th win. He still has the hunger and the will, he says, but you wonder if he still has the speed and the power. So there he is, former 135-pound champion, Miguel Angel Gonzalez. Undisputed welterweight champ, elusive southpaw Cory Spinks, in familiar territory. This is where he beat Zab Judah. Of course, the great bloodlines, as the crowd greets him on his way in. Not only the son of Leon and the nephew of Michael, but one of 4 boxing brothers. Older brother Leon Jr. was a top St. Louis amateur, 1-0 as a pro when he was murdered in 1993. It has not been an easy road for the soft-spoken Spinks, who despite his success still has his detractors. Al, what do you think? Is the criticism fair?
Well, I think not, and not only has he beaten just about everybody he needed to in his last 5 fights, he's fought all former or current world champions. He's 4-1 against them, and the one loss, really, he should have won.
The crowd favorite, and Cory Spinks looking to bring back the old show Dance Fever, I think.
Yeah, he's pretty happy, isn't he?
Well, while Spinks insists he's not looking past Gonzalez, he says he'd love to fight Kostya should Tszyu get by Shambe Mitchell. One of the more creative entrances into the ring.
People have accused him of dancing too much in the ring, doing a pretty good job outside the ring.
He would make Fred Astaire very proud. Let's size him up as we check out the tail of the tape. The biggest disparity, as you will see, in age, where Spinks is 7 years younger than Gonzalez. The height all even, reach nearly the same, and at yesterday's weigh-in, Spinks right on, Gonzalez just a hair under. The notable rules: no standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule. A fighter cannot be saved by the bell in any round. If an accidental headbutt occurs before the end of the 4th round, the fight's ruled a no decision. If it happens after the end of round 4, they go to the scorecards. So here at the Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas, we are getting ready. for Cory Spinks versus Miguel Gonzalez for the undisputed welterweight championship. Let's get the formal introductions from our ring announcer, Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you, and welcome to the beautiful Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino here in Las Vegas, Nevada, as we have a big night of action in store for you, and it's all brought to you by Don King Productions in association with CM Exchange, the Mandalay Bay, and Showtime. This bout coming away as a unification world title bout, and it is sanctioned by the WBC President Jose Suleiman, Supervisor Mauricio Suleiman, the WBA President Gilberto Mendoza, Supervisor Renzo Bagnariol, and the IBF President Marian Muhammad, Supervisor Dave McCullough, along with the Nevada State Athletic Commission. Introducing to you our judges, all from Las Vegas, Nevada: Carol Castellano, Dwayne Ford, and Jerry Roth. Introducing our referee in charge of this bout. He is working in this his 165th world title bout. Fair but firm, Joe Cortez. All right, fans, here we go. 12 rounds of boxing for the undisputed welterweight championship of the world. Introducing to you first the challenger. On my left, fighting out of the blue corner, he is wearing white trunks with red and green trim, proudly representing his home of Mexico City, Distrito Federal, Mexico. He weighed in at 146 1/2 pounds. His record stands at 49 wins, 3 losses, 1 draw, with 39 big wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the challenger, the former WBC lightweight champion of the world, introducing Miguel Gonzalez. Opponent across the ring on my right, fighting out of the red corner, the defending world champion, wearing blue trunks with red trim, representing the famous fighting family tradition from St. Louis, Missouri. He weighed in at the welterweight limit of 147 pounds. His record stands at 33 wins, 2 losses, 11 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the undisputed welterweight champion of the world, known as the Spinks Jinx, introducing Cory, the next generation Spinks. Once again, Joe Cortez is our referee in charge. Now to give instructions, 12 rounds of championship boxing scheduled.
Okay, Miguel. Okay, gentlemen, we went over the rules in the dressing room. Ya utilicé las reglas en camerino. I expect a good, clean fight. Una pelea limpia. Protect yourselves at all time. Protege en todo momento. Los golpes aquí, punches here are good. Give me a good, clean fight. Remember, guys, I'm fair, but I'm firm. Touch him up. Good luck.
Looks like a classic bull versus matador scenario, with the prevailing opinion that it will be one-sided in Spinks' favor. Despite that, Spinks trainer Kevin Cunningham, a St. Louis policeman, said he's more nervous about this fight than the Zab Judah fight, because everybody expects Cory to win. Gonzalez, who says he's reinvigorated, in excellent shape, still has a lot of fight left, is ready. He told us he'll jump on Spinks from the start. He'll keep the pressure on and not allow Spinks time to set up his punches. The southpaw gets set against the conventional fighter Gonzalez, who lands the first punch with a left hand.
Even though we think of Gonzalez because he was a lightweight champion, as a lightweight, his last 7 fights have been at more than 150 pounds. So this is the first fight since 2000 which he's been down. Nice right by Gonzalez. Wow, good punch.
And Gonzalez goes right to work with a flurry. The southpaw Spinks is a 5-1 favorite coming in. And as you can very well see, a boxer first and foremost, as Gonzalez comes forward and tries to lure you into a punch-out. But here at the outset,
break out.
The challenger, Miguel Gonzalez, who has the upper hand. But it's early.
You can land a right hand against Spinks if you throw it in a little wider arc. I suggested that in the keys, and that's exactly what Gonzalez has done, and what for him so far is a very nice first round.
Gonzalez continues to come forward and put on the pressure. Body shots. Says his motivation is not money. He just wants to prove himself again. As we reach the midway point of round 1, a terrific minute and a half for Gonzalez.
Spinks starting to warm to the task now. Countering punch, countering a little bit better.
As we approach the final minute of the opening round, scheduled for 12. For the World Welterweight Championship, a rugged first round for the boxer, the southpaw, Cory Spinks, but now Spinks comes alive. He landed with the right.
The last 40 seconds or so, Spinks has moves to his right, throwing very good jabs and good straight left hands, and now has gotten himself back on track.
Gonzalez looking very energized. And without question winning this first round. Backing Spinks up, landing to the midsection. That was borderline, got a caution from Joe Cortez.
All right, break out, please.
Gonzalez continues to target the belly.
Time.
Big first round for the challenger.
How you feel, man? I'm good. You sure?
Some water.
Early in the first round, Gonzalez was very effective, and you'll see him throw kind of a looping right hand. That's the way you can land a right hand if you're a conventional fighter against Cory Spinks. But Spinks, later in the round, much more precise with his punching. Countering as Gonzalez came in, there was a nice jab, interestingly leading with the left and then coming back with the jab second, which is an odd combination. And you see the movement of Cory Spinks as well. So a very good last 45 seconds for Spinks.
Keep your left hand and your right hook, all right? But keep that stick on him when ain't nothing else going on. You shouldn't be, he's too slow for you to be waiting on him a whole lot.
Spinks always comes in with a set game plan that he usually executes very well. Do not look for him to engage Gonzalez in any form of trench warfare. He will use the jab, look to frustrate, counter the ex-champion. Gonzalez again. But here comes Spinks with a very fast right, showing his speed and quickness.
And the hand speed, obviously, is a big difference in this fight. We assumed it would be. And since that initial flurry by Gonzalez in the first maybe 2 minutes of this fight, Cory Spinks' hand speed has become the major story. He's throwing combinations and landing very well.
Gonzalez continues to chase Spinks all around the ring. It's a big ring, 20 feet by 20. Again, Gonzalez landing with an overhand right and now going to the body.
See, that's really the first of those overhand rights he's thrown in a long time. What he's been doing is throwing a right hand to the body, Steve, and leaving himself wide open for countering by Spinks. He's going to throw that right hand and lead with it. It needs to be to the head, not the body.
Well, Gonzalez does not have the utmost respect for Spinks' power, and understandably so. Spinks with only 11 knockouts in his 33 wins. So he is ready, willing, and able to get inside and do what he can.
We've seen a smidge less movement from Cory Spinks than we're used to seeing. He still is, of course, showing us lateral movement, but just a little bit less.
Spinks at 26, 7 years younger than Gonzalez. Gonzalez 11-2-1 in world title fights. Spinks 3-1. So Gonzalez with a lot more experience, but his prime was in the early to mid-90s. You're talking over a decade ago, but you wouldn't know it from this attack over the first 2 rounds. Gonzalez missing wildly. And here comes the quicker Cory Spinks back on the assault.
The aggression of Gonzalez and the willingness of Spinks to stand and counter has made this a very entertaining first 2 rounds.
Right hand got in by Spinks. Spinks beginning to land with more regularity, looking a lot more confidence, up on his toes. But it's Gonzalez who continues to unleash bombs to the body, but missing with a lot of those.
Gonzalez knows how to throw a fight a southpaw with those double left hooks. He understands that.
Spinks getting in with his quickness and so elusive now defensively, like right there. Our translator, Eric Jones.
Put more pressure on him. More pressure. And keep your hands up. You have to move to your left.
Tienes que usar cintura para entrar y tienes que engañar de diferentes formas. No boxees al centro del ring, llévalo a las cuerdas y empiezas arriba y pegas abajo. Pegas abajo y pegas
Hit him in the
arriba.
body. Hit him in the body.
Más presión. El primer golpe.
Well, things have gotten a little rough in there. A low blow at the end of the round by Gonzalez, but he may have been responding to that. Little elbow by Cory Spinks. He may be 26, but he knows all the veterans' tricks. The hand speed of Cory Spinks and the combination punching becoming a very important part of the story. And this, an evidence of that in round number 2, a round in which Spinks came back to win, though it was still a competitive round.
As we enter round 3, Cory Spinks coming back well after a rugged first round. Looking a lot sharper now.
All right, break out, step back.
Mexico did not win any gold medals in the Olympics as far as boxing this year, and Miguel Gonzalez says when he wins Cory Spinks' 3 belts, he's going to bring them back to Mexico as if they represent gold medals.
He's a very proud champion, and he has a lot of fans down in Mexico who have been very loyal to him. You know, good combinations by Spinks. Against Rafael Pineda, he fought not well against the former champion. Everyone expected him to dominate, and he said, I'll never be that lethargic again. He was worried, I think, in round 1 that he might have been coming out that way against Gonzalez.
And he said tonight he wanted to put on a spectacular show. And ever since round 1, he has really looked impressive.
You know why this has been such a fun fight to watch so far? Gonzalez may be 33 and may have lost a step or 2 and a little hand speed, but technically his plan against the lefty is excellent, and so he is getting some things done. Much better, for instance, than Ricardo Mayorga, who fought Spinks.
That was a tremendous illustration of a fighter making another fighter pay when he missed the Mayorga fight. Spinks did a great job. Most people thought he dominated that fight, although it was a very, very questionable judgment by the judges. There's Spinks going to work.
Both men, This is a joy to watch because both men are doing exactly what they're supposed to do. Spinks is using the jab, just enough movement, good combination. And Gonzalez, for his part, is using the left hooks. He's throwing to the body. He's trying the looping overhand right. He's doing everything correctly. And that's why he's hanging in this fight and landing some punches.
And Spinks is an intelligent boxer. He's not a runner. He boxes with his arms and upper body, not really his legs. And he's not normally a torridly fast starter.
Here's that double left hook by Gonzalez. Instinctively, he's doing it. The one landed to the body, missed to the head.
Oh, work the head, work the head. Come on, work the head. Come in with the head.
Once the fight gets going, though, Spinks does show who's boss in the ring.
Oh, work the head, guys, work the head.
Tremendous hand speed.
All right, bring up.
It all seems to be coming to fruition here.
Okay. I'm just into my rib.
Yeah, because you're not hitting him when you should be hitting. All right? He walking in your range, and you just letting him walk in there, and you ain't getting nothing off. Get that shit off as he coming to you, man. All right? All right? Look, you gotta turn. Stay in the center of the ring. Fight in a tight circle. All right? All right? You can't be letting these rounds.
When you have a left-hander and a right-hander in, feet can get stepped on, heads can clash, and they do there. Probably initiated a little more by Gonzalez, but I don't think intentional. No cuts, thank goodness, from that.
Spinks has a tremendous amount of respect for Kevin Cunningham, a St. Louis policeman, former Army boxer, who opened a boxing gym in the basement of an old police building.
And that was Cunningham giving really good advice to Cory Spinks. Not happy with the way Spinks is letting Gonzalez walk in and load up punches without him countering him. So it was excellent advice from Cunningham. And an indication that they don't think Cory Spinks has his A game on board yet, even though he's doing a pretty good job.
Spinks calls his training team the Dream Team, with Kevin Cunningham, former U.S. Olympic coach Kenny Adams, and one of the best cut men in the business, Jim Strickland.
Double jab there by Spinks, and ironically, Adams coached the United States team in 1988. Gonzalez represented Mexico in the 1988 Olympics, so a tie in there.
Gonzalez was 112 pounds back then, and he lost in the semifinals to the fighter who eventually won the silver.
This is really intriguing action. You know, good uppercut on the inside by Gonzalez. Both men are doing an excellent job here. Spinks' hand speed is probably the difference, but boy, not by much.
Oh, beautiful shots to the head by Cory Spinks. Gonzalez has been down only 2 times in his illustrious career.
You know, that was a superb combination by Spinks. And Gonzalez, he is just not able to hurt Spinks. He's landed now 2 or 3 right hands in this sequence that were excellent, but not able to hurt him.
And Spinks, although he's up against the ropes where you don't want to be, is winning this battle. Now he spins Gonzalez around.
What the head inside, guys?
I think they were telling us the absolute truth when they said Gonzalez has gotten himself in the best condition he's been in since the mid-90s. He couldn't fight at this pace and take those kind of shots from Spinks and still keep throwing if he wasn't. Granted, it's very early in the fight, but that's an indication.
He fought at an unbelievable pace in his last fight back in late May at a bull ring in Mexico City, a 10th round TKO over a Mexican prospect by the name of Ernesto Carmona. But Gonzalez, particularly at this stage of his career, took way too much punishment. And he's now taking a lot of hits from Spinks.
This is a Cory Spinks who is, while he's moving and showing a certain amount of lateral movement, is happy to engage, and that's what's making this a very entertaining fight.
Time. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Joe Cortez giving the Spinks corner a chance for Cory to get his mouthpiece back in. And the final seconds of the fourth.
Hold it right there. All right, let's go. All right, time.
Pegado, abajo, abajo.
Hit him in the body. You got to hit him in the bottom of the body. Sacrifice. Hit him in the bottom.
Abajo.
Go for the body.
No se te olvide el upper. Que no te mete el upper porque te está
Don't let
buscando
him
con
hit
el
you with the
upper.
upper.
Voy. Voy. Jálame. ¿Cómo estás?
Cory Spinks, with Gonzalez attacking and very low, used a series of uppercuts and combinations and then spun away. That is vintage Cory Spinks. And then he put himself back in the corner because he said, I counterpunched well here against the ropes. Let's try it a little bit more. And the mouthpiece of Cory Spinks would go out, and really that was from a clash of heads. Gonzalez hit him with his head, and that hurt Cory Spinks. He got nailed right in the chin with Gonzalez's head.
Heard the judging criterion called ring generalship. Well, Cory Spinks is in charge right now. Miguel Angel Gonzalez has the will and the spirit, but just doesn't have the sharpness and the reflexes and the speed and quickness.
He's getting beaten to the punch, there's no question, but he is still landing a lot of punches. And the big question, the big question is going to be, he lands it overhand right, it doesn't do any damage to Spinks, and the problem is Spinks can land a lot in return.
And Spinks just stands there and fires away. Gonzalez in some outstanding battles through the years. Challenged unsuccessfully 3 times for the 140-pound title. But in some great fights.
What the heck?
There's that little counter right hand by Gonzalez. It's been one of the best things he's done in this fight.
The press row story, they're all in unison.
I gave Gonzalez the first round, but I've given Spinks the last 3, so I have it their 2-point win right now for Cory Spinks.
Yeah, they went with Spinks raising some eyebrows in the first round. I thought Gonzalez had that round as well, although Spinks did come on in the second half. There's a straight left hand to the head by Spinks. Gonzalez nods his head, acknowledging. He says, all right.
Cory Spinks setting down on his punches much more now.
And he is punishing Gonzalez. And he said that could lead to a knockout. He's not normally a knockout guy, but if you wear him down enough, it could happen. He's fighting a guy who's been in there with Oscar De La Hoya, Julio Cesar Chavez, Kostya Tszyu. Took a beating from Tszyu a few years ago. And I don't think he's ever been the same since. A flurry to the head by Spinks. What a work rate here by Cory Spinks. Gonzalez gamely fighting back. What a combination again upstairs by Cory Spinks.
Well, the counterpunching of Spinks has been very, very impressive. Mostly the jab and the straight left hand, and occasionally mixing in an uppercut when Gonzalez goes low.
Another dominant round for the champion, undisputed title holder Cory Spinks. Oh, time!
Empiezas muy bien, Miguel.
You started well. You started well there.
Concéntrate en lo que te voy a decir.
Listen to what I'm going to tell you. You start well.
Tienes que ser fajador ahorita encima.
You have to fight. You have to fight.
Atrás, cintura, llévalo a las cuerdas y ahí a minarlo. Ya lo quieres noquear, no lo trates de
You want to
noquear.
knock him out. Don't go for the knockout. You have to finish him. Don't knock him out.
Mete el upper, está cortado en la boca. Vamos, tienes que estar encima.
You gotta throw the uppercut. You gotta be on top of him.
Terminas como se va, como es débil, lo tienes que acortar con el paso, luego para no darle la distancia ni el tiempo a que piense para que combine. Todo el tiempo, Miguel, así.
Everything is gonna come in time.
No puedes.
Carlos Rosales, interpreted by our Eric Jones, who returns to Gonzalez after several years away, was 41-0 with Gonzalez prior to the fight with De La Hoya.
Yeah, an 8-year absence, and they felt that he would bring a lot to their game plan here. And truly, they did create the right game plan. It's just Gonzalez, these last few rounds, having a hard time executing.
Particularly against the lightning-quick Cory Spinks. Beautiful straight left hand there by Spinks. Now landing almost at will.
Cory Spinks' jab has been excellent. In the first round, he threw it a little bit less, but since then, he's thrown it a lot. And there he throws it to the body. Of course, if you're a boxer like Cory Spinks, the jab better be there, and it is tonight.
That sets it all up for him. Of course, his uncle Michael was known for the Spinks jinx. When he was a great light heavyweight, that was his right hand. Look at these punches, these sharp cross punches by Cory Spinks. Of course, with Spinks, the Spinks jinx is the left hand. This Cory.
He is much more of a pure boxer than either his uncle or his dad, although his Uncle Michael, a good boxer, very good boxer, puncher type. It's fun to see Cory Spinks setting down on his punches. We don't see it that much against the welterweights that he believes can hurt him. We didn't even see it that much against Zab Judah, who's a welterweight coming up, although he did knock Judah down in that fight.
Gonzalez just missing wildly. There are welts around both of Gonzalez's eyes, which became apparent midway through the 5th round. We have a minute left in the 6th.
The pace of Miguel Angel Gonzalez has slowed decidedly, and now he is not throwing nearly the punches he did earlier. He's still pursuing, but not really throwing many punches.
Oh, what a left hand. A beautiful countering left by Spinks. That just drilled Gonzalez. And a right hand by Gonzalez, but Spinks unfazed.
It's one of those overhand rights, the likes of which he landed in the first round or two.
Spinks' mouthpiece comes out again.
Well, while he was trying to put it back in, Gonzalez landed an overhand right.
Whole time.
Crowd getting on Cory Spinks. Some fighters use that as a ploy to get a rest, but doesn't seem to be the case here. Spinks in charge. Spinks looks like he's just having fun now.
Hey, you're working good. But you can't be out there resting as much as you resting because out here in Vegas, dude, you got to keep putting your hands on this boy, man. You know, you got to act like you don't want nothing close. Listen, the left hand is working good for you, okay?
Cory Spinks loses his mouthpiece in this sequence, and then he's trying to put it back in, and as he's trying to do it, he gets nailed with an overhand right by Gonzalez. He was a little preoccupied with getting it back in, and of course shortly after this the action would be stopped. So Gonzalez kind of seizing the moment, but couldn't really hurt Cory Spinks with that overhand right.
Round 7 scheduled for 12 for the undisputed welterweight championship. The southpaw Cory Spinks has had the upper hand since midway first round. Former lightweight champ Miguel Angel Gonzalez frustrated for the most part. Another beautiful countering shot by Spinks.
Cory Spinks, of course, is unified champion in the welterweight division. He's the man in this division. He sees a challenge coming up from Costa Zoo, perhaps. They've already had talks. they would love to see Costazu come up and fight him. If Costazu's watching this fight, he's watching those right hands occasionally land from Gonzalez, and he may very well like the idea of that because he can land those right hands.
Yeah, that's the fight they really want with Costazu. In fact, Sue's manager Vlad Wharton on hand to do a little surveying.
The fight I'd like to see, you know, Cory Spinks is the boxer puncher. Zoo would be coming forward, being aggressive, and I think it would be intriguing.
They're not crazy about a second fight with Savchuda, feeling that the 12th round knockdown in the first fight, the only element that makes that a possibility. Right hand by Cory Spinks. And that snaps Gonzalez's head back. Another one.
It's a boxing clinic now, and the jab of Judah setting up all these beautiful straight left hands.
Oh, Spinks landing and landing powerfully with both hands. Well, Gonzalez, if anything, showing a lot of heart. Spitting blood now, Gonzalez.
Cory Spinks, thinking his fight with Judah. Cory Spinks has never had a championship fight that was stopped before 12 rounds. So for him, if he could get a stoppage somewhere along the line here, and that is not out of the question the way he's peppering Gonzalez, it would be the first time he's been in a championship fight he's been able to win in less than 12.
Spinks now all over Gonzalez. As Spinks hopefully awaits Costazu, we can't disregard Shambe Mitchell.
Absolutely, yeah.
Who will be in there against Costazu on November 6th.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
First, let's see if Zoo gets by Shambe Mitchell. Meanwhile, a great finish to the 7th round by Cory Spinks, punishing Miguel Gonzalez.
Fíjate bien lo que te voy a decir, Miguel. Hazme caso a mí. Cada que esperas, te ganas.
The one who waits wins the fight. You have to wait.
No me quieres hacer caso.
You are not listening to what I'm telling you.
No eres el campeón, sal a jugar.
He is a champion.
Encima tirándole por todos lados, a matarlo. No le des.
Don't try to kill him.
Aquí, no aquí.
Hit him closer up.
Y a base de cintura y encima.
Get close to him and hit him by the waist.
Vamos 5 puntos abajo, papá. Ibas muy bien y empiezas a esperar. Si te cansó, mejor pues ya quémate todo. Vámonos, con todo. Abajo, arriba. Abajo, arriba. Take, Manuel, take. Todo. No hay otro round.
It is round 8 scheduled for 12 for the undisputed welterweight championship. Cory Spinks continues to have his way. It gets worse and worse each round for the former lightweight champ, Miguel Gonzalez. Spinks continues to land with the jab and then follows it up with the straight left. Moves around. Well, that's dancing into the ring, perhaps an omen, because he's been dancing beautifully around Gonzalez, dancing circles around him all night.
You know, we referenced Ricardo Mayorga, who had fought Cory Spinks, and of course he's had his travails in recent days, but he is here in attendance, sitting next to promoter Don King. You see him right there next to King, watching the man that he lost his title to, and he's supposed to fight Felix Trinidad in October, and we'll find out whether that will happen due to his legal issues.
That is an upset that he is here, because he has had his troubles with the law lately, arrested yesterday on suspicion of rape. Jeopardizing the fight with Felix Trinidad. And that's another guy that Spinks said he wouldn't mind getting in there with for the big bucks if that fight comes about. Trinidad wins after the comeback.
Well, these rounds becoming mere images of each other, with Spinks handling Gonzalez, Gonzalez can't do the things he was doing in the first 2 or 3 rounds when he would get inside and big left hooks to the body and the overhand rights. Even though occasionally he will land an overhand right like that, he's not able to set these punches up because he doesn't have the really the will to do it and the endurance.
Wicked combinations opened up by Cory Spinks, but a lot of bravery on the part of Miguel Gonzalez.
Bring out. All right, get in that corner. Time! Get in that corner. Come here. Tape. Let's go. Go ahead.
Tough crowd, Al.
Yeah, really.
The guy's getting his head handed to him when they're booing him because his tape is loose.
That's right. Are we in Philadelphia? You know, Fred, Miguel Gonzalez, this is a real pivotal time in this match. I don't know what he can do to do better because he had the right plan, or the best plan he could have in terms of strategy, and it didn't quite pay off for him, and it was the youth and speed that have done it to him. So I don't know where he goes from here to try and get this fight going his way.
He had a great plan, but I was going to say, he's 33. He's way past his prime, and he's fighting Cory Spinks. Oh, talk about south of the border.
Time out. 1 point. 1 point, low blow. 1 point, low blow.
As if things aren't bad enough for Gonzalez, Cory Spinks comes over towards us with his leather boxing trunks and tries to get himself back together again.
Hey, let's roll. I gave you a couple of warnings. I gave you several warnings, all right? You ready? Let's go. Time in. Let's go.
The Serena Williams of boxing with those trunks.
Yeah, he said, let's roll, and he was ready to go after it.
Boy, a lot happening in the last 40 seconds of this 8th round. That was a long 40 seconds.
Don't worry about it. Don't even think about it no more. Mid bottom. Listen. You see when you feint the body.
Gonzalez has been trying to land that right to the body, and he has gone low on a number of occasions, and that one was extraordinarily low, and he had been warned a couple times by Joe Cortez, and rightfully he takes the point away. Then at the end of the round, a punch from behind the head, a rabbit punch, also from Gonzalez. In fact, 2 of them. And Cory Spinks keeps his cool pretty well based upon it, but you can see he's aware of that.
You know, there have been no knockdowns thus far in this fight, but you could make a case for 1 or 2 10-8 rounds in favor of Cory Spinks, the way he's dominated. Round 9, scheduled for 12. Lively crowd on hand, very spirited. Despite the fact that it's been one-sided for Spinks, it's been entertaining.
Hold it. Now pull that head down.
Especially the first 4 or 5 rounds were well contested. About the 6th round is when Spinks really started to take control. Holding behind the head and hitting by Gonzalez, and they both hit on the break. Which was okay because Joe Cortez wasn't there.
Guys.
In case you're wondering, Spinks has been down only once in his 35-fight career against Zab Judah, that 12th round. The last fight right here at the Mandalay Bay. Spinks dropped Zab in the 11th at a furious finish, you'll recall. Boy, that quick left hand by Spinks. You don't even see it coming. It's like a blur.
And Gonzalez would like to think that somehow as he got into these later rounds, he might get some help, but, you know, Spinks, all 5 of his championship fights have gone 12. He's not a fighter who normally gets tired, although Judah was able to get to him late in the fight, but still, he had a lot left, so it's not as if Spinks has any history of fading in these fights.
Beautiful defense by Spinks, although that punch somewhat telegraphed by Gonzalez.
Cory Spinks reminds me so much of a middleweight of days gone by, Michael Nunn, who was a left-handed stylist who was just really, really hard to beat. And that is, Cory Spinks is going to be a load full for any welterweight that gets in there with him.
Davenport, Iowa, right?
Yeah, and he was brilliant defensively like Spinks, had hand speed, and Cory Spinks is tough to deal with for anybody.
The chance of Cory ringing out from this crowd. Again, Spinks content to be along the ropes, doesn't seem to hurt him at all. In fact, he's the one with the advantage.
All right, get him out.
Mostly arm punches from Gonzalez. That's part of the reason why even when he's landing, they're not having a huge impact. And you know, Gonzalez has landed a lot of body punches in this fight. You wanted to do that, of course, to slow Spinks down, but they're not having that kind of impact, and we're already into round 9.
Spinks looks as fresh here at the end of the ninth as he did early on. Gonzalez continues to come forward.
This was one of his better rounds, even though I don't think he wanted one of the better rounds for Gonzalez of the last 4 or 5, interestingly.
Ooh, Spinks slipping on top of the shoe of Gonzalez.
Pelea, Miguel está muerto. No se te olvide, López. Fíjate.
You gotta hit him with the uppercut.
La básica es volado de derecha, hígado, volado de derecha.
Hit him in the liver. Hit him in the liver.
Así, Miguel, así ganas, viejo, está muerto.
That's how you're gonna win.
Ya está muerto, cabrón.
He's already dead. He's tired. You just gotta put pressure on him.
Busca la derecha acá o la derecha al hígado también.
Hit him in the liver.
Don't do this shit, man. You fucking around here, man. If you want to, keep the man in the center of the ring. All right. You see when you turn your left hand over, you're hitting it right on the money. Would you please give me a right hook with the left hand?
Let's go.
Sage advice from Kevin Cunningham.
Even though Spinks counters well off the rope, Steve, he still gets hit more there, so why be there?
And let's see if we do see the uppercut from Gonzalez. As Carlos Rosales was pleading for him to do. Also aim for the liver.
Well, you know, those left hooks to the body have been excellent by Gonzalez. He's thrown good rights to the body, so he has executed that. But, of course, Rosales, we think, is just exaggerating a little bit when he says to his fighter that Spinks is dead over there. I don't think so.
If he's dead, I'd hate to see him alive.
Yeah, really.
And I think so with Gonzalez.
It's interesting, though, Gonzalez has been rejuvenated a little bit. He's actually throwing more combinations. He's getting a few more punches in, so he's actually made the last round and a half a little bit more like the first couple rounds that were competitive.
Oh! All right. Okay, let's go.
Well, this is no surprise that we've gone this deep. Spinks averages about 6.5 rounds. Miguel Angel Gonzalez close to 7. And Spinks is a boxer first.
Let's go.
And he's been controlling most of the action. And he's been dictating and setting the pace to his liking.
They want, and we heard Kevin Cunningham say it, after you throw the straight left, please give me the right hook. The right hook was landing earlier for Cory Spinks, and they're probably a little perplexed that he hasn't gone back to that punch a little bit more. Especially over that left hook to the body that Gonzalez throws, which would leave that right hook open for Cory Spinks.
We're in the 10th round of a scheduled 12-round unified championship fight at 147. The southpaw Cory Spinks, the orthodox fighter Miguel Angel Gonzalez. Once again, Gonzalez taking a lot of shots.
Stop! Let him out.
Way behind in this fight. Needs something ultra dramatic. Straight left, pounding. Gonzalez on the chin and in the Adam's apple area.
And you know, even though Gonzalez has been hit with a lot of punches, he's never shown signs of being stopped in his tracks. and he's continually throwing punches and coming forward, so you can't really make any case, I don't think, for the fight being stopped, even though he's being hurt, although now he is being stunned a little bit by some of those punches by Cory Spinks. And also, I think Gonzalez is getting very tired right now.
A tough Mexican warrior, Miguel Gonzalez. It will take a lot to get him down. Let's quickly go to Jim Gray. Jim?
All right, Don King has recorded, there you take a look in the stands of Mayorga, Ricardo Mayorga. He is here in the United States. He was in Nicaragua yesterday. He is being right now investigated. He has been accused by a woman of sexual assault and rape back in Nicaragua. Now, according to Don King, it is just an investigation, and this woman is making an accusation. There has been no charge filed. The authorities in Nicaragua have not pulled his passport. Obviously, that's why he's here, and there are no restrictions on him, and he will be able to proceed and continue with the upcoming bout against Felix Trinidad. Steve?
All right, Jim, thank you so much. Ricardo Mayorga looking on as we hit round 11. A lot of Vaseline on the face of Gonzalez.
You know, that was wonderful refereeing by Joe Cortez. Gonzalez threw a borderline right hand that did straight just a smidge low. Rather than taking another point away, he gave him one more warning and said there'll be another point after that, because he knew it wasn't deliberate on Mayorga's part. Some less experienced referee would have jumped in and done it. I'm sorry, for Gonzalez. Got Mayorga on my mind.
Well, Spinks has gone 12 rounds in 4 of his last 5 fights. He's 4-1. The loss being to Michel Piccirillo in April of 2002. Gonzalez hasn't gone more than 10 since losing to Oscar De La Hoya, January 1997.
Felix Trinidad is the only welterweight I haven't identified in that ring. And, he's coming up next. Don't worry about it.
It's an eclectic broadcast.
Really. Wow. What hand speed by Cory Spinks.
Lightning quick fists of Cory Spinks, and he is putting on a show. But you have to remember it's against the slow former champion Miguel Gonzalez, who's got the heart and will, but doesn't have the sharpness, the reflexes that he used to have.
You know, before the fight, the keys to victory, 2 of the things I suggested he needed to do was land those double left hooks and land the overhand right that he would throw with a wider arc. He's done both of those things a lot in this fight, and it hasn't been nearly enough to get him a victory. Partially because those overhand rights are not beginning to hurt Cory Spinks. They just can't even come close to hurting him. And the left hooks have not been enough to slow him down in terms of movement.
Gonzalez has won maybe 1 round, the first.
Holding and hitting there. Well, I'll tell you, it's been a cavalcade of things by Gonzalez. You have to be fair and say he has bent the rules on 4 or 5 different occasions.
And now he's trying the roughhouse tactics. Many Julio Cesar Chavez-like qualities in his prime. Look at this, countering by Cory Spinks, a barrage, a fusillade of laser-like punches.
It's obviously a combination of the toughness of Gonzalez and the fact that Cory Spinks is a great fighter, but he is not a huge puncher.
Last round. We don't get slack and stupid in round 12. We fight like round 12. I want round 12 like it's round 1. The whole 3 minutes. All right? You ain't got on no long.
Okay, last round, all right?
All right.
Good job,
Good job, ref. You ain't got on no long time, no counter, no nothing.
This right hand by Gonzalez strayed a little bit low, and remember, a point had already been deducted. Well, that was pretty low. A point had been deducted before, and Cortez did not elect to take a point away. He made one more warning, much to the chagrin of Cory Spinks. And I have to say, upon looking at the replay, it was lower than I first imagined it was. But the way to get back is with this kind of action from Cory Spinks. His hand speed and his combinations, very, very special in this fight.
Is it my imagination, or does the right collarbone or right shoulder of Miguel Gonzalez look out of kilter?
It really does a little bit. I don't know if he's kind of moving his right arm funny, so it's conceivable that that's the case. I don't know, but
they were applying the ice pack to it between rounds.
Yeah, it really does look odd.
I saw it begin to develop in the last round. Didn't want to say anything as of yet, but now it doesn't look right.
And of course, that would make it harder to throw that overhand right.
All right, bring out.
Gonzalez obviously needs a knockout. But Cory Spinks just all over the place. Target practice coming at him from every angle. Crowd enjoying the tactics of Spinks.
Kevin Cunningham told us before the fight, this is difficult for Spinks because if he does dominate, as he has ended up doing, people will say, well, he'd be the 33-year-old former lightweight champion, so it's not that spectacular. And of course, if you stub your toe, you're really in trouble and you lose this fight. What this did demonstrate was that when he's in against a boxer that he believes doesn't have the power to hurt him, Cory Spinks can set down on his punches and do more damage than we're accustomed to seeing, even if he didn't create a knockout.
There goes the mouthpiece for the third time. Joe Cortez spots it, picks it up, has to wait for a low.
Over here. Okay. Come on, let's go.
Can't be penalized for that. So rare that you see a mouthpiece coming out that many times from a guy who's in charge of the fight.
He's getting hit less often.
There it goes again. Keeps slipping out of his mouth. Gonzalez continues to misfire. And Spinks connects.
It looks like Cory Spinks will have his sixth title fight go to the 12-round distance.
He keeps the judges busy, but not much doubt.
6 in a row, not 6 title fights, excuse me.
But he's in great condition. He's looking so fresh, Spinks. Toying with Gonzalez right here. Just in another league. As we head to the bell. Lopsided fight for Cory Spinks. He came in dancing. He danced around Gonzalez all night. He landed, but he also, as you pointed out, did a beautiful job of setting up his punches. Showed some power.
Congratulations, my man. Thank you, baby.
How about this? Ricardo Mayorga, who lost to Spinks a couple of fights ago.
And here inside the ropes, we will look at Cory Spinks and the combinations that he used. throughout this fight. That's what this was really all about, the hand speed and the variety of punches that Cory Spinks threw. This sequence using uppercuts, straight punches, body punches, it's always in combination from Cory Spinks, and of course, he was able to do that against the slower, older Gonzalez. But when he throws these kind of combinations, Cory Spinks is very, very difficult, and the intriguing thing is he was doing it as well at the end of the fight as he was at the beginning. Jab, straight right hand, and blazing speed from Cory Spinks.
Question now is, how would that do against the likes of a Costazu or Shambe Mitchell? That will really be interesting. Jimmy Lennon Jr. ready with the scores. Let's go up to our ring announcer, Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of action, we have a unanimous decision. All three judges scored about exactly the same, 118 to 109. All three in favor of the winner. And still the undisputed welterweight champion of the world, Cory, the next generation Spinks.
Cory Spinks does it in impressive fashion. The second successful defense of his 3 welterweight belts. Remains only the second undisputed champion in boxing today. The 26-year-old lifting his record to 34-2. And a disappointed Miguel Gonzalez, the former champion, falls to 49-4. And won probably his last chance for championship glory.
Yes, sir, it certainly will be. Around the way, around the way, around the way. Race.
So, congratulations to Cory Spinks. Spinks and his team won only big fights now, which translates to big bucks.
Y'all come get some. Like God say,
Costazu, although the 140-pound champ, is their prime target if he gets by Shambe Mitchell November the 6th.
I'm here to tell you.
Tonight, we're in the heart of the world-famous Las Vegas Strip, the unmistakable sights of the undisputed fight capital. And coming up next, it'll be our main event. You'll see hard-hitting Layman Brewster meet lightly regarded Kali Mian for the WBO Heavyweight Championship. We're set now for post-fight reaction from our opening bout. Let's go up to the ring and Jim Gray. Jim.
All right, Steve, thank you very much. He's decorated with all of his belts. Congratulations, Cory. What's your assessment of what went on here tonight? Gonzalez is still a pretty tough guy, isn't he?
Yeah, I knew that from looking at his last fight. He was going to be a tough customer. There was a lot of people counting him out. Just thought I was going to walk through him, but I never thought that he was a great lightweight champion. And I saw his last fight. He fought a tough Mexican, and he came to fight tonight.
You dominated the fight. Was it your speed and your quickness? What exactly would you say was the difference?
It was just using what I do. Hit and not get hit, and it worked for me.
Your mouthpiece came out 3 times tonight. What was that all about?
Yeah, oh man, it was just coming out. I was like, because it usually fit, but it happens, I wasn't.
Was it a tactic, or was it? It seemed like you lost it once. The second couple times.
It wasn't a tactic. It was just slipping out my mouth, and it happens. It happens. I never intended on spitting it out or none of that. I don't do that. I want to fight. So
I'm glad to hear that. Too.
Right.
We're going to ask you what you're going to do next. We want to bring in her proud papa still. Leon, nice to see you again. What do you think of how Cory is doing now? He's dominating the division, and what is your assessment of how things are going?
I think he's great. I think he's doing a remarkable job, so keep on doing it.
What's next for you? You've talked about Costazu. He has a fight with Shambe Mitchell coming up. What are your plans?
Whatever Don come up with, I'm there. Like I said, I'm not scared to fight anyone. Whatever these two men come up with, hey, if we got to go there, we got to go there. This the man right here. He can make it happen. Hey, I'm his fighter. He's my promoter.
Let's ask the man. Quickly, Don, what do you see next for Cory?
Greatness.
We've already got that. What about a fight?
Nothing but more greatness, but we're going to look around and see what Costazu does. We see what Zab Judah does. We see what everyone does, and then we make our check. Me and Kevin. We'll make our selection. We ain't in no hurry. Everything is cool. It's really great. It's just great to be an American.
Cory, congratulations to you. Fine performance.
Thank you. And thank you, Showtime Boxing, for putting me on and letting me explore my talent once again.
All right.
Spinks is back, baby.
Whole Spinks family up here. Down to you, Steve.
Thank you very much, Jim. And Cory, let's see how the scoring went for Spinks and Gonzalez. No surprises as far as the official judges' scorecards. If Gonzalez did win any rounds, it would have been rounds 1 and 9. They all saw it the same way, 118 to 109 in favor of Cory Spinks. And as far as press row scores were concerned, even more dominating, in fact, Kevin Aioli of the Las Vegas Review-Journal gave all 12 rounds to Cory Spinks. Graham Houston of Boxing Monthly, 11 to Spinks, and David Avila of MaxBoxing.com gave 9 rounds to Cory Spinks. So before we continue our coverage from Las Vegas, let's see what's coming up in the near future here on Showtime.
On ShowBox, the new generation.
1, 2, 3, 4 here.
For today's hungriest young fighters, it all comes down to one moment.
You gotta do the work.
That is why you spar.
Put in.
That is why you sweat.
2 more.
That is why you work till it hurts. Now the moment is here.
When undefeated ShowBox sensation Rico Hoy battles the fighter who beat Roy Jones and James Toney, former world champ Montel Griffin on ShowBox, the new generation. Thursday, September 16th at 11 p.m. Eastern and Pacific, only on Showtime.
America's Fight Night is on Showtime. On October 2nd, it's a huge night of boxing with a triple header featuring former heavyweight champion Vladimir Klitschko. Klitschko wants the title back, and he wants it bad. But first, he must go through one of the top contenders, Darrell Williamson. Also, it's the long-awaited rematch of the action-packed fight between junior middleweight champion Verno Phillips and Kassim Ouma. Plus, 2000 Olympian Jeff Lacey becomes the first in his class to fight for a world title. Saturday, October 2nd at 9 p.m. Klitschko, Williamson, Phillips, Ouma, plus Vanderpool Lacey. It's America's Fight Night on America's #1 boxing network.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to that October 2nd triple header here on Showtime Championship Boxing, headlined by Vladimir Klitschko. But the fight that could really steal the show out is Phillips versus Ouma, yeah?
Yeah, a junior middleweight championship match that should be really excellent. That is a rematch. Their first fight was just extraordinary. And, you know, even though Kassim Ouma is thought of as a star in waiting in that division, the fact is Verno Phillips against Carlos Bojorquez here on ShowBox was spectacular. He's still an ex-champion with a lot to offer.
And an intriguing matchup coming up on ShowBox.
Absolutely. Rico Hoy taking on Montel Griffin. Griffin, of course, a man who beat Roy Jones Jr., though via not a knockout or a decision, the disqualification. Still, Rico Hoy, a very talented young fighter, and this is his coming out party against top opposition.
All right, a lot of good action coming up. For more about Showtime Boxing, a reminder, for those of you with internet access, we invite you to check out our website at show.com. Show.com now brings you closer to the world of Showtime Championship Boxing than ever before. Log on to see exclusive hard-hitting video, in-depth fighter stats, and award-winning photos. With Show.com, you can also buy boxing collectibles, including the action-packed DVD of Freitas versus Corrales, which includes bonus footage you can't find anywhere else. And don't forget to have your voice heard in our interactive polls, or when you vote for your favorite Showtime boxing moments. Show.com, the Internet's undisputed champion. Coming up next from Las Vegas, our main event. It'll be relentless Layman Brewster, and he's ready to make his first defense of the WBO heavyweight title against relatively unknown Kali Mian. Well, when there's no dominant champion, entrance into the heavyweight elite comes via revolving door. In April, Vladimir Klitschko exited, and Layman Brewster made a most emphatic entrance. Previously dismissed as an underachiever, Brewster's knockout of Klitschko was a shocker. In that fight, he showed a big punch and a strong chin. At heavyweight, those two attributes can take you a long way, whether you're fighting a giant like Vladimir Klitschko or a former sparring partner like Kali Mian. For 4 rounds.